Thank you so much for being here. You guys know the idiom that the truth shall set you free. Thank you for being here. This is Phoenix Jackson with Unfolding Us Insights to a Better Humanity. And yes, the truth shall set you free. But you know what? Truth seeking is a true leadership skill, especially during an age of media, toxic media, and an age where people want your attention and your intention is the new currency. Truth seeking is absolutely a leadership skill that most people do not have. And I want us to talk about that. The reality is about 40% of the content that's on the web, 40% of the content that is put out, 40% of the content that is shared on social media is inaccurate. People are sharing things that they heard from a herd from a herd, meaning they didn't hear from the source itself. They didn't experience it, nor do they know the true facts and or statistics and the truth and narrative that truly surrounds the situation. So they're getting like fourth or fifth hand information and it's put out onto platforms as if it's the truth and the source. Now, people can uh, watch the news and watch the weather and be like, "Oh, the weatherman said it's raining," and look outside, and there it is. It sure is outside raining. They can say, "Hey, it's sunny outside," and look around. Darn sure it is. It's sunny. But if they say to you, "Oh my God, the people are out here. The Haitians are eating dogs and cats," can you go up there and prove it? Can you see it? Yeah, no. And was it true? It wasn't. And what they didn't tell you are those are tax-paying people who invigorated a whole economy in a small town. They're not going to tell you those things. They're just going to run with what feels comfortable to share with the very people that are they know are ignorant, that they know are living in a perpetual state of fear and anger, and also who they know is not going to fact check. And you know who that is? That's you. That's the everyday American people. The everyday American people are not going to go and do any fact checking. The regular everyday American person is not going to take the time because they're exhausted, they're stressed, they're living in a space of anxiety and fear. They're not going to go and see if what they are being told is actually and fundamentally the undeniable truth. They're not. And unless you've ever been a victim of fake news, you will never understand how damaging it is to your emotional state and your, oh my goodness, your nervous system and also your ego to have people say things that are highly inaccurate and highly untrue. And, but then there's a space of freedom in that because you also realize, wow, the news cycle is going to go on and people are going to move forward as if this stuff never happened. And that's actually sad too, because that means that the actual important scenarios and situations and the important issues that need to be seen by the public are only being seen very briefly. And only the people who can hold up a flame to that content, meaning those are the people who they actually care about it. They hold a flame to it. They want you to see it. They want to illuminate it. Those people are the ones who still stick by when things are going horribly wrong and when people don't want to hear about those situations again. And the truth is, there is rolling situational awareness and rolling issue awareness, meaning these things are still going on all the time, even if the media is not looking at it, even if you're not looking at it. So, with that, we have to become more aware of really, I wouldn't even say aware of what's happening around us. We have to become more aware of how we participate with the toxicity and what we give our attention to. Because, see, we are fundamentally a part of the problem. Because they know they can dumb us down with content, because they know they can say whatever they want to say, because they know they can do whatever they want to do and nothing's really going to happen, they're going to keep doing it. The American people right now are being, let's frankly say it, molested by the politicians and the leaders. They are fondling us in every which way they can, and they are traumatizing us and they're traumatizing other humans on the planet, and we're allowing it. The question is, why are we allowing it? I want people to keep in mind that media is a business. It is a business. It is the biggest business. And in a lot of ways, it's failing because there's too much competition. It just is. And when you keep that in mind, I want you to start looking at media with an objective lens. I want you to start looking at what you're consuming with a clear and objective lens. And I want you to start asking yourself questions like, what are they trying to share with me? Why are they sharing this in particular? And what is the purpose? And what am I here to learn? I say that because I look at publications like, for instance, I'm going to give you guys a clear, good worldly example. There's a publication in St. Louis, Missouri called the St. Louis Post Dispatch. And it's just like any small town newspaper, it's failing. It is losing viewership. There, you have to look at everything behind a paywall, and it's like the local um, broken TMZ with very poor and shoddy journalism. And also, unfortunately, it's not full of people who are diverse, and it shows in their content. 60% of the things that they put out are actually disparaging against Black people. So whether you're talking about a Black man who's committed some crime in the impoverished community that St. Louis itself and the St. Louis counties, the county of St. Louis and everything around it, the fact that they've starved the Black community, they never talk about those things, but they discuss how the people who are in poverty are reacting to it, right? They discuss the bad things that happen without ever discussing solutions, or they discuss things and paint narratives that are weaved in with a large level of imbalance, insecurity, and a lack of truth. Again, like they'll weave a story about a superintendent who they said overspent, but they never discussed the fact that she spent $5 million in books in 1 year because for years and potentially 20 years, they didn't have books and library centers and healthy reading material for the children, predominantly Black children that were there. They didn't tell that story. So I say all this to say we have to be more clear of the things that we share. We have to be more clear with the things that we consume, and we have to question even those that say that they are there for us and they're there to be a watchdog and they're there to be the media. Because as one woman pointed out, and I wish I could find her, if I can find her post to share after the podcast, I will. Brilliant white woman who spoke about the reality that they were bamboozled and lied to, as well as everyday white Americans, that on their TV screens and local news, they were always shown Black people in these very negative ways and very negative light. And they were also told that basically we as Black people are in the position we are just because. They never were told the history of how things ended up that way. They never were told that our Black families were broken apart because the government and states and federal basically said, hey, Black woman, you can't have a man in the home if we're going to support you and your family and help feed your children. So they had to push the man out. They didn't say that, right? They don't tell the truth behind what happened. And they did those things deliberately. So I want you all to dig deeper into finding truth, because even if you're an ally, you should understand what some of this stuff comes from and why some of this stuff has occurred. And then I want you to question what you hear regardless, because that's what time it is. Like, it's time for truth to prevail. It's time for people to understand that for more truth to come to the surface, more people have to be truth seekers. More leaders have to be truth seekers. If you want a clear cut and balanced environment, you have to put your attention towards that. And we're a collective consciousness, and right now we're acting like a cancer. And only we can heal ourselves, but it has to start one individual at a time. One individual at a time. So, are you ready? Are you ready? If so, continue to watch. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Phoenix Jackson, and I will see you next time.